up, you guys? The Curious Owl here, and today I am going to be reviewing the audiobook for Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So this story is told in a bit of a frame tale where we start off learning about this character, Mr. Lockwood, who now inhabits the estate of Thrushcross Grange, which is an estate that is landlorded by a man named Mr. Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights, which is just a couple of miles down the road. And one winter night, he ends up going to Wuthering Heights and ends up having to stay there on account of bad weather, and basically comes across some very strange events that include a ghost of a woman named Catherine. And through that, Lockwood learns the story of Heathcliff and Catherine, a tragic love story that spans about 30 years in total. The story is told through Lockwood's house manager, Ellen, who has essentially been there since both Heathcliff and Catherine have been children, and tells the story of their blossoming friendship, then later romance, and many things that happen afterwards as a consequence of some of the actions that they have as children. So unlike the Scarlet Letter audiobook review I did, I actually liked this narrator a lot more because most of the story was told in Ellen's voice. We heard Ellen's voice throughout the whole story, and it was very dynamic in terms of different parts of the story, and each voice for each of the characters seemed fairly different and distinguishable from the rest. However, the overall story this time did not enthrall me as much as I had wanted it to. As this is a very old story, there are obviously a lot of things that are different in terms of how things were done in this time period as opposed to now, and unfortunately for me, I did not care for a lot of those things that were happening back then because I just didn't agree with them. Most of my problems, though, centered around the main characters because, my God, were the main characters so whiny. Every single one of them was absolutely disgusting in terms of their countenance and the way that they held themselves. And I would not even consider this to be honestly a tragic love story because the love was not even there. There was no love anywhere in this entire story, and it just sounded a lot like toxic relationships, and I wanted no part of that. So I did not care for this book very much. I felt that it definitely shows the more toxic side of individuals that we come across in everyday life, and it kind of shows a lot about, how we as jealous people can turn out to be and how we can really influence people based on our jealousy and our hatred towards people because of certain events. I just overall did not care for this novel, and that's kind of where my thoughts end. I just did not like the story. So basically, with that, I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. That's all I'm going to really say of Wuthering Heights because I just did not like it, and I found no value in it whatsoever. I found no enjoyment in listening to the entire thing. I felt that it was a huge whine fest, and I just don't recommend it to really anybody. It's not a love story like everyone says it is. I don't think I will ever read it again. I don't think I will even try to read a physical copy of it because I liked the narration of this one. I just didn't like the overall story. So there we go. That's my opinion. So if you guys did enjoy this very short and kind of negative review, go ahead and leave it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be, hit that button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.